Welcome back everyone. In last week's video I was talking about the Byarlant custom from Gundam Unicorn 4, and you can see a preview of that right now on your screen, but if you want to watch the whole thing then have a look in the descriptions and I'll have a link to that. Anyway, in that video I did promise I'll talk about and follow it up by talking about the model kits that you can get of this Byarlant custom, and really it's off the back of the announcement that Bandai have just announced that they're going to be making the Byarlant custom in high grade universal century form, and there is of course a robot Damashii already out from earlier on this year in April, so I'm just going to talk about those and we'll move on to the next part. The Byarlant custom is of course a variant of the original Byarlant, which you can get a few kits of already, but the first form that I've seen of the custom from the Unicorn series was in this robot Damashii form, and this was released in April 2012, so just a few months ago. And the thing with this was that it was kind of a web shop, Japan exclusive, so it was quite hard to get, and really you're not going to see a lot of people running around with this, especially because it costs around about 6,000 yen. So that's easily the price of an expensive master grade, and this robot Damashii is not even a model kit, so it's it's kind of like a figure, a play figure kind of thing. So whilst it's very cool and I do really like the proportions of this, it wasn't really a viable option for most people, myself included. So this was the box that it came in, all really nice, and these things are so sort of exclusive and packaged up nicely that they are a bit of a collector's item rather than like a playable sort of toy that they're supposed to be. But anyway, this is the Byarlant custom from the robot Damashii line, and I probably like the proportions of this the best actually. So whilst the high grade looks very similar, it is actually very a little bit different, but we'll get onto that next. Moving on to the high grade Byarlant custom, and this is the whole reason why I made this video, is because Bandai in their infinite wisdom have decided to announce the release of the high grade universal century Byarlant custom from Gundam Unicorn. And this was announced at the C3 hobby show, which is pretty much going on right now, or most of this week anyway, and they've decided to, I think, announce that this will be put in for a November release of this year, 2012. So we've got a little bit of a wait until we get our hands on this, but it's going to be coming in high grade form at 2,600 yen ish. So basically that means it's on the higher end of the scale of the high grade kits, but it is a larger mobile suit in the first place, so it's going to be sort of comparable to kits like the Yo or something like the GPO2 Physalis, something of that of that size and of that price tag really. And the suit itself, it is pretty big. I mean, it's I think at head height it's around about 20 meters, so it's already bigger than your standard RX-78 type high grade. And really with these extra big shoulders and binders, then it brings it way above that 20 meter mark, so it's going to be a big high grade. And looking at it from the back, differences of note are these extra extensions and these extra claws, which are bigger than the original, and the extra binders. So all in all, represented pretty well here. And the thing with these pictures that Bandai have kind of released, the original artwork, sorry, not artwork, the photography, I find this is a little bit plain, but I did find some better pictures, which is from the actual, just from the internet. These are actually the completed model from the actual C3X, C3 hobby show, and you see here that I don't know if this is in different lighting or different colours, or if anything's actually been done to this kit, but I think I agree with this kind of Titan's colour much better than the previous picture I just showed you. So here is an especially a nice sort of pose. So I do note that the head mold on this looks slightly bigger than maybe I would like it, but it still looks good. It's a very wide suit, so in a funny way it kind of looks a little bit like Def Scythe Custom from just the profile anyway, with these little binders looking like the wings and the feet. But as you can see, there's going to be some nice detail with the green moulding, and I'm sure this has been panel lined and had a little bit of work done to it, but overall it's looking like a very nice kit, and I think most of us are going to be quite happy to even actually be able to get this. So we weren't sure that we were going to get a Byarlant custom at one point, so and now here it is. So here's a size comparison for you guys, and as you all know, the destroy mode of the Unicorn Gundam is already pretty big. It's definitely one of the taller high grade suits out there, and as you can see, this Byarlant is much bigger. So head height, not too much more, but still bigger than the Unicorn's actual highest part. And then you've got obviously the width of the shoulders, the size of the tanks, the big claws that sort of extend out, and then the binders as well. So overall, you're talking about a suit that's easily twice as wide as the Unicorn, and even taller to boot. So that 2,600 yen probably well spent in this case, I think. That's the official model kits anyway. So you've got the Robot Damashii web shop exclusive and the Bandai 1:144 high grade Universal Century scale kit that's just been announced. But I have noticed that E2046, which are a resin recasters, they have always had a Byarlant normal type. So this is not the custom from the Unicorn series that you see. So this is the original Byarlant, although because it's a resin kit, then the proportions are probably going to be a little bit more stylized than your average Bandai line art. So this kit here is really cool. So for those of you who don't know, this is what the original Byarlant looks like. So it's only got the claws, and it's got the binders, but no extra sort of funnels. Not funnels, but you know what I mean. It's got little fins here that give it extra boost. Hasn't got the extra propellant tanks, and it doesn't have the claw sort of heels that the custom has. But if I just scroll through these, you'll see that this is a very cool kit from E2046, and those of you interested in the Byarlant custom may want to pick this one up. So I notice on this one the head mold is really nice, so I always like it when they have the heads that are just a little bit smaller. It just gives the rest of the suit a bit more of a sort of imposing, menacing look, just by having the head a little bit smaller, I find. So one last picture here, and this one is definitely done. I really like the colour scheme in this. It's definitely done in the Titans colour scheme, so definitely a very recognisable Titans Mark II Gundam blue here and black, so very nice colour scheme. But they've also just released, and I think this may well be coming off the back of the C3 hobby show as well, that this has just been announced. It hasn't got a release date just yet, it just says to be released, but this is the same kit, only the custom variant, so this is exactly what you would be expecting to see from Gundam Unicorn, and same again really. What can I say, really nice proportions. This time around I don't quite like the blue they've used, but what can you say? If you look beyond that, then I think if you paint this up in the proper colours, then it's going to look very nice. So So once again, just to point out the differences between this and the previous Byarlant normal type, you've got the extra fins here, you got some propellant tanks on the back, you got the extra sort of ray gun here, the beam cannon thing, and you got the bigger claws, and you got the clamps at the back of the heels and the feet. So that concludes my look of all the model kits and sort of figures that I know of the Byarlant custom that you can get hold of right now. That's the high grade from Bandai, just announced and due for a November release. The robot Damashii back in April earlier this year, and also a couple of resin kits that you can get hold of from E2046. And well, I think for me, I'll definitely be getting the high grade as soon as it comes out, and who knows, maybe if it's popular enough, we may well get a master grade at one point. It's one of those suits where, because of this scene, I think that it may be just a bit of a dark horse and might be popular enough to warrant Bandai doing that. So I guess the sales figures will tell. But can you imagine how big that suit would be in master grade form? It will be, you know, kind of like the master grade XS Gundam. So, you know, very cool kit to add to anybody's collection, I think. I'll wrap it up right there. So thank you very much for watching, and once again, I'll see you guys next time.